There was just a recall for some like strawberry soda at Kroger's because I think it came back saying that it would like reduces men infertility.
Yeah.
It's like there's some big callback for it.
We started on don't even start on the food supply, but you have these this vaccine that's not tested. Well, they do some testing, they get the results. They get a judge essentially to agree to not release the results of the study for 75 years. That makes you feel safe. And now there's all these doctors coming out saying, yes, like we're seeing blood clots, we're seeing heart issues, and we're seeing infertility. So now you have this movie where it's like set in the not so distant future where people just stop having babies. And like, and there hasn't been a baby in like 10 years.
Remember that Nestle documentary I sent you?
Oh yeah.
About how pretty much they made all this baby formula that wasn't good for babies, but they paid off all the doctors and be like, hey, this is good for your family. It help you grow strong bones.
Yeah.
But literally it had everything in it to pretty much hurt your child.
Well, the government said it's good.
It's crazy.
It's got the FDA stamp of approval.
It's so crazy what we believe is good. They even said milk was good. I don't think milk's good for you no more. Before they said like milk build your bones.
Oh,
now it's coming back with all these studies about how bad it is for you. Mind you, I haven't drunk milk in years.
I think milk is better for you than the milk alternatives that are on the shelves.
What you mean, like almond milk and stuff like that?
I'm not saying there's something wrong with the. Oh, almonds don't make milk. It's almond water, but
I love it. Whatever it is, I love it.
There's nothing wrong with the almond water or the oat milk or any of it on its own. But when you pick up one of those boxes and you start to read the ingredients list, you can't pronounce half the stuff that's in it.
I mean that could be true, but is part of that just due to being ignorant and not knowing the ingredients? Maybe they're basic ingredients.
Some of them. I mean, yeah, a lot of it's preservatives.
You want it to be like oh, just like eggs. This you want all your stuff to be just like straight ingredients. You don't want it to be no long terminology when you read it.
No, I don't. I mean, that's the majority of my diet. It's like grass-fed meat and organic vegetables.
When did you actually start this journey?
I went down the misguided path of veganism and vegetarianism for a while till I realized that it's just from an evolutionary standpoint, it's not solidified. Like we need more than that. Our bodies were made for more than that. We've eaten wild game for tens of thousands of years, far longer, but then we've cultivated vegetables. We ate wild grains and animal meat. It's biologically more adapted to our body. When I started going down that path of really understanding what was out there, I'd say this was probably 2018, 2019. I started really getting serious about trying to understand what was in my food. Started listening to a lot of different podcasts and things about that really talked about the food source, understanding when you get salmon in a restaurant, 9 out of 10 times it's not salmon. It's
what?
It's like a lot of most of the fish that you eat in restaurants is not what it's labeled as. It's like a byproduct fish that's dyed or cut and marketed as a higher end fish. So you're paying 3 times the markup rate on what essentially is just trash fish that's usually thrown out
off of a name. Pretty much.
Yeah. It's like getting knockoff Jordans essentially. I mean, you're paying for the brand of fish and it's not even that. And it really started to open my eyes to just the I mean, there's this again, it comes down to money, right? Follow the money. I mean, it's greed, and there's this hierarchy in our agricultural system. There's 3 companies that own 90% of the farms in the US. And there are the same companies that that also produce the pesticides that go on them that are causing the issues for recall. They're, Roundup, which markets weed killer dandelions. Dandelions are actually for centuries were consumed by individuals as a tea. It's proven that dandelions actually can repair heart disease. They're phenomenal for your cardiovascular system, your lungs, your heart. Ironically, the company who makes Bayer aspirin, which is marketed to support heart health, is owned by the same company that owns Roundup. So isn't it ironic that the company that is selling you aspirin to support your heart health is also making the spray that kills dandelions that could do that for you on its own? So it's all very interconnected. And in a perfect world, I would only eat what I caught and killed, but I'm still a city dweller, and it's not always that feasible to do.
So